Wakey, wakey.
Welcome back to I'll
Make a Stay Out of You.
You fucking bitch. What? Like, don't jump on it. I was doing the intro. Welcome back to I'll Make a Stay Out of You, the podcast where I, Phil, show all the buddy catcher to Tom. Tom, welcome on in.
Hello. Thanks. I haven't been here for the past 3 episodes.
No.
Ugh,
It's been a while.
my lord.
Yeah. We we've been enjoying some lovely Kingdom Week.
Mhm.
And it's been good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Current day news, we had a bit of a comeback today. The day we're recording this is comeback day.
Yeah.
And we stayed up. You didn't. You were working. I mean, you still stayed up late. But
I think so. I was looking at the chat when everyone was like, "Oh, good night," all that. That's like around the time that I was waking up for the day for today.
Oh, wow.
So you guys were going to bed when I was waking up.
Yikes. I'm glad you're alive and you're here, even though you had to wake up that early, late, early?
Early?
Depends on who you ask. It was late for us, early for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to it, but you're not going to get to listen to that album until January. At least
January.
Yeah, so sorry about that, but I think you're going to like it. Maybe. We'll find out. But that's not the comeback that's happening right now. The comeback we're worried about is No Easy, which now, because we stayed up late and watched all the episodes of Buddy Catcher, you get to open tomorrow, recording time, next week for the listener.
Yes.
So how do you feel about it? Are you excited that we did this, that we stayed up super late and watched all of it?
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah. Although, it only affects the timeline by like 1 week, right? Because, and now instead of having 2 episodes of the podcast dedicated to the show, now we have one.
Right, exactly. Right, yeah.
So we've shaved off a whole episode.
That's right. Maybe if we work hard enough, you'll get the most recent album before January. But probably not. I would guess no. But it's gonna be fun. We have a lot of fun stuff planned. But let's talk about Buddy Catcher.
Now, I have a question.
Sure. What's your question?
This is more for. I mean, it's good for me to know, but it's more for the listener as well. We have a very special event coming up pretty soon. Now, I'm wondering.
We do.
When will our next episode? Because normally we release 1 episode per week. Are we going to release 2 episodes this week for the listener, or is it going to be 2 episodes next week for the listener?
I don't know what you mean, but you mean because I recorded an episode with Jeanette last night, or you mean the next episode we're going to record? I
mean, we plan on releasing 2 episodes back to back pretty soon.
Right. Okay,
is that going to be this week or next week?
Next week.
Okay.
That's going to be next week. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So I think the way it'll happen, spoilers, is that one of them will come out first.
Yeah.
And we'll just download, and people will be like, "What is this? Why is this, the
so
way
short?
It is?" I wasn't gonna say it.
Oh, you can cut that.
Yeah. I'll remember for sure this time. And then the other one will come out a little bit later. So,
right.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm excited about it. I think we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so this was fun. I mean, it was like a cool episode or episodic little reality show. They've done these kinds of things. We've watched these kinds of games before in the 9th and in Finding Stray Kids. But I think this is one of my favorites of all the games because you really get to see some people just be chaotic, some people be devious. Anyone stand out to you from this whole experience?
Yeah. They did some some editing magic to really
Yeah.
hide the deviousness of Felix throughout this.
Did they?
I feel like they did.
They did, but and at the end of the second episode, he is in bed with Sungmin, and they're talking to each other, and
Yeah.
Felix goes like, "Are you really the money catcher?" And when he confirms it, then Felix goes like, "Well, it's good to meet you, friend." Like,
Yeah.
wink, like telling him he's the money catcher. And then Sungmin was just like, "Nah, I don't believe you."
Yeah.
And then they just left it at that. Like, Felix admitted it. He admitted it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so what are you gonna do? It's just it is what it is. But we should explain.
But maybe because Sungmin is he has that devious mentality as well. So he was probably like, oh, he's just saying he has to throw me off, but he's not really.
Yeah,
because that's what he would do, and that's
Right,
what he
exactly.
he had been doing that. So
Right? Yeah, he had been. It's true. He played himself really on this
Yeah.
one. So let's explain a little bit of what Buddy Catcher is.
Mhm.
Buddy Catcher is like an Among Us style game, and like I feel like
Among
we've
Us.
just done this because we did the Mafia episode not that long ago. But basically, everyone goes in, is randomly assigned a role, either Buddy Catcher or Money Catcher. And there's several different events that happen, and you can swap partners around at different times. And then at the end of it, you have to choose and accept a partner. And if you choose and accept a partner, then you're stuck with that person. If both of you are buddy catchers, then you win the friendship prize. If one of you is a buddy catcher and one of you is a money catcher, then the money catcher wins the money catcher prize, and the buddy catcher gets punished. And then if the money catchers are both together, then they just lose, and they both get punished. And they had to do it over the course of 2 days, so they had to keep up the ruse all day, all night, all morning. Like they really had to keep it up, and
Yeah.
I find that impressive. I think if they didn't have Sungmin acting as a smokescreen, because basically from the moment he got assigned his role, he walked back into the house and was just like, "I'm the money catcher. It's me. I'm money catcher. Money catcher.
Yeah.
Me. It's me." And everyone's like, "Are you? Is he?" And like, I feel like it's so funny to watch everyone else's reactions. I feel like went like wildly from like nobody believes him, and then in the middle of it, they were like, "No, but wait a minute. What if Sungmin is the money catcher?"
Yeah.
And he never was. It was It
Right.
was really great. I think he revealed too late into the game that he was not the money catcher, even though I guess for his game in particular, he wound up winning. So yeah,
Yeah,
was
that's
pretty
true.
good.
That's
So
right.
let's talk-
He always could be. You never know with that guy.
It's true. Yeah,
He's so sneaky.
he is very sneaky.
But yeah, Han. I suspected Han immediately. Like
Yeah,
from the minute he came back, I was like, okay.
Han is a tough one because he's so good at these.
I feel like
Like
he kind of he overplays it though. He like when he's trying to he does this like overconfident. I mean, he's a confident guy, but he like plays into his confidence in kind of like a nervous
Yeah.
kind of way, I feel like, where he's
Mhm.
acting a certain way to seem confident in a
Yeah.
nervous way. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yes. Yeah. No, I agree. Although from the members' perspectives, they don't really seem to catch on to it. So maybe that's just what he's like.
Maybe.
Like I don't know. But he did well, and he always does well at these kinds of things.
Mhm.
Like there was a previous one that we watched during the 9th where he had to steal various items from people,
Yeah.
right? And he did that, and he like took like more than he needed to,
Yeah.
and then he got caught and stole them all back again.
Yeah.
Like
They had him put it on the desk, right? And then like everyone left, and he was just like, "Well, I'm gonna take them back."
Yeah, he was just the last one to leave the room, and he just stole them. So like we know that Han is good at these kind of games, or at least completing missions when he needs to.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know. It was great. I loved it overall. I think this is one of the best ones. Like if you're gonna watch only one of these type of shows, the reality shows like this, then watch Finding Stray Kids God's Edition. But if you're gonna watch two, watch this one too. Buddy Catcher's really great. I just feel like Finding Stray Kids God's Edition like gives you a lot more insight because you're with them longer to their like personalities and stuff. Like if you're getting to know the boys for the first time, that's a good place to start. This is hilarious. This is a great one. But yeah, let's talk about the events, the actual events that they did to build up here.
Yes.
The first thing that they did was the like tug of war.
Yeah.
With the bungee cords. So basically they were strapped together. I guess they picked first. The first thing they did, the very first thing they did was that they had to pair up. And so they called people up and they had to say what their ideal partner would be and match with their ideal couple. So Hyunjin wanted to pick the cutest member, and Changbin charged up there with Han.
With Han, yeah.
And he made a cute puffed out cheeks face and was like, and Hyunjin initially was just like, "Not you, you stay back." But once he got there, he could not resist that Changbini adorableness.
Han wanted to do a little dance, and then Changbin started doing it with him and
did it better.
Even more. Yeah, did it better.
Oh, yeah.
And did more and won.
Yeah. He earned it. He earned that spot.
Yeah. He worked for it and he got it.
Yeah. The next team was IN, who wanted to be treated like the older person. And I think Bangchan and Lino charged up there with Seungmin. But those two, or no, maybe it was Han. But it was definitely Bangchan. And he said, like, the other two, they always treat him, they're always doing that. You know, Magne on top, right? You know, Magne on top. So, you know, they're always doing that and being silly that way. But Seungmin does not do that. So they just decided, well, IN decided that Seungmin was the better choice. And enjoyed his cute aegyo that he did. Yeah, so he did good. Yeah, it was good. So they were a pair. Han wanted to pick someone who can pick him up and squat him 10 times.
The fastest.
And the fastest, right? Yes. And so he had Lino, he had Felix, and he had Bangchan, and Bangchan won. So he picked Bangchan. And so with that, Lino and Felix just kind of got matched together by default. It was revealed that there are 2 money catchers. And then we got into the tug of war game, which, you know, hilarity ensues. So they were basically, they had like straps around their chest, that were connected to like a bungee cord that's, you know, between 2 people.
Yeah.
And then they basically started in the middle of the yard and had to run out from the middle. And they had to grab bottles of water, pour it in like a super soaker, like little container, water container, bottle, and then screw that into said water gun, and then pump it up and spray the other person, and whoever did that first wins, right? So we got a lot of matchups. They matched up a bunch of teams. Yeah, it was hard to tell. Sometimes it was hard to tell who was really trying, who was not trying. The first match was Lino versus Felix.
What was the goal of the, like, what was the win? Who, like, what do you get for winning? The clues? Is that
yeah,
what
they
it was?
got clues. Yeah,
Okay.
they got clues for winning. Yeah, yeah. Hey,
Okay.
I feel like after seeing Lino and Felix go, I was just like, Changbin and Felix go, I thought that that there was just no chance that that Changbin was gonna dominate everything, or it would end up as like Changbin versus Bangchan. Like that's how I thought I thought it was gonna go, right? Because they're the gym bros, like they're going all the time. We know that Lino also works out, but he He always says that he wants to work out just so that he can die at an old age from natural causes. Like he's not the type to just be like, oh, I'm gonna work out because I'm gonna get the biggest muscles in the group. Like he's working out just enough to do exactly what he wants, which is very Lino because he's like the cat dad, right? So he's gonna be like a cat. He's gonna be like, I'm gonna do what I want, and that's how it's gonna be. And yeah. It's good. How did Felix do against Changbin? I don't quite remember.
Well, all I remember is people with bad shoes did poorly, despite any advantage they would have had otherwise.
I think it might be unfair to say that because Felix had like tennis shoes on, so but they kept falling off, to be fair. But he wasn't like, there are some
didn't tighten them up.
Yeah, he did not tighten them. He did not double knot. He did not tighten his double knot.
Nope.
He probably should have tightened his double knot.
Yeah, that's a great gift. Yeah, he tried. And he tried.
Yeah,
he tried.
Yeah, so Felix kept trying. He did his best. He clawed at the ground, but he just could not make any headway against Changbin.
Yeah.
It did not go well.
He tried all the time.
Yeah. The other matchup was Lino versus Hyunjin. And this one was sad. Like, you kept seeing like Hyunjin would like rear back and charge forward, running as hard as he could to try and like pull him back, and just Lino just didn't budge at all. Like no movement.
It's sad. I mean, look, he's a beautiful man, but he has like no leg muscle to speak of. He's got the little chicken legs, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it did not do anything for him in this competition.
Absolutely not. Yeah. It was really funny. I don't know. It's I mean, it's not that Hyunjin's weak. It's just that compared to Lino, their lower bodies are very different. Yeah. So like, I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah. So easy win for Lino. So then we got the final of the first round, which was Lino versus Changbin. In which case, shockingly, and this really blew me away, was that Changbin loses.
Yeah.
And I was like, how is this possible? Like, he goes to the gym every day, but it's literally just that, like, Lino just, like, leaned at the right times, the right angles, and was able to keep his footing. And that's all it took.
Physics, baby.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he has strong thighs, but like, are we pretending that Changbin doesn't? Like,
right.
Come on.
I don't know. Maybe he skips leg day.
Maybe
Probably
he
not.
skips leg day. I don't think so. Look at that. I mean, I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was a shocking result. I think that you might be able to make the excuse that maybe the grass was slippery, except that he didn't really slip on the grass so much. It didn't seem like.
Yeah.
Well, so he loses, and we move on to like the second round, and we got Bangchan versus IN. So who did you expect to win this one?
Not who won, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But in this case, Bangchan wearing sandals, like, come on, man. Like, he could have, at any point, he could have kicked off the sandals and done it barefoot.
You think so? You think barefoot would have been better for him? I mean, maybe.
I do.
Wait, was he wearing socks?
No.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it could have ended better, because then he could get his little toes in the ground, you know?
Right.
Yeah, use those grippers.
Yeah. Use those grippers. I think that he could have done it. I think it's possible, but he lost his footing, slipped, and IN just took full advantage and just sat there and got it done. I mean, like, he got the water in, he got the gun pumped and sprayed away, you know.
Speaking of using grippers, you know, I know we've both experimented with these, but what do our chatters think of Vibram 5-finger shoes or 5-toe shoes?
Five finger? Yeah. Oh yeah, toe shoes.
Toe
Remember when
shoes.
those were popular?
So the thing with the toe shoes though is that okay, yes,
They are ugly.
They are ugly, and they are foul to look at, but surprisingly super comfortable. Like they're so light and you're so nimble, and it's just like they're so nice to wear.
Yeah.
But they're ugly. Oh yeah.
Oh, back when we worked at Blizzard, we both got a pair. And,
I had
and we used to
2
walk
pairs.
around. You had 2 pairs?
Yeah. Once I was done with the one,
man.
I went and got another. Yeah.
I guess Vibrams have not made the rounds like Crocs do.
You know what's funny is I still wear Vibrams to this day. Just
Do
not
you
the,
really?
No, not the toe shoes though. They're
Okay,
the brand of boots that I wear.
All right.
uniform. So yeah, so
That's funny.
I'm still rocking the Vibrams, but now I have flight deck boots.
Yeah,
so-
I don't know. At a certain point, I couldn't anymore. I felt like when we first got them, like the ideal, right, was that like, well, when you walk in normal shoes, then like your toes aren't bending, and so you're not using all like the muscles and whatnot, and so it was like uncomfortable when you first wore them, and then you got used to it, and then I stopped wearing them. I don't even remember why, but I just stopped wearing them so much. And when I tried to put them back on again, it was so uncomfortable. I was like, I can't do this again, and I just never wore them again.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my experience with toe shoes.
I really liked it. As soon as I put them on, I was like, man, I could do parkour in these things, but
Yeah. Can you? I don't know. I feel like I would break my toe. And the thing is, of course, is that like it's hard to get them in my size. So like, I'm just saying like,
yeah.
I don't like buying shoes in general. Now I got weird flex. Yeah. Well, it's not a flex. Honestly, anytime I tell people like, "Oh, I have large feet," I'm just like, "Yeah, it sucks. It's the worst." Like you cannot buy shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes do not get put on the shelf for that. Like it's frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
It's
you gotta shop at stores that are specifically designed for people with large feet or
Clown
large
shoes.
clothes in general.
The Clown Imperium.
Yeah.
Emporium. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It sucks. So what I have done now is
Extra large gripper markets.
Yeah, no, I went to just to like Adidas's website and got some Adidas Sambas. And they're like, they have like they have like actual leather soles, not like plastic soles.
Mm-hmm.
I've had mine for like 2 years and they haven't worn down hardly at all. So
okay, speaking of
they're
Adidas,
awesome.
Anna and I watched a documentary show the other night, hosted by Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, nice.
It's so good. He's so weird, but I love it. Like,
is this the documentary that was like about Jeff Goldblum? Or
no. It was him
okay.
going around like doing stuff.
Yeah.
And this episode was about sneakers, and he goes to like the Adidas fucking like science center or whatever, and they show him like how they design shoes and stuff, and they have him run onto this like this pad that is supposed to like tell you how you use your feet when you're running, so you need to like determine what kind of shoe you need to have designed for you. And
interesting.
And like so the guy is like, okay, run and hit this pad. And so he does this little thing, not a run, right? This little saunter. And the guy's like, okay, what you're doing is like boofing, and you need to run. And Jeff like looks at him and he's like, what the fuck did you just say to me? And he's like, you're kind of like, you're not really running. I need you gotta run. And so he does it again, does not run. Bopping. Yeah, bopping.
Bopping. Yeah, boofing is something else entirely.
I don't know, but he was doing whatever it was, and he's like, and so they went and they looked at the picture that is like taken when they run by, and he's like, I've never seen. It's only supposed to take a picture of one foot, and he's like, I've never seen someone else's foot in this picture. You only see that if someone's bopping. You can't. If you were running, I wouldn't see your other foot. And Jeff is just like giving them this fucking death glare. It's such a good episode. I mean, that whole thing just seemed to be like a good. I
gotta check it out.
So yeah,
Oh, wow.
I forget what it was called though, but it was on what, Hulu, I think.
Interesting.
Maybe
There was an Apple
Disney.
TV
Oh, Disney
Plus.
Plus. Disney Plus.
Oh, Disney Plus. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's Jeff Goldblum's wild. Anyway, all right. So
Sponsor us.
So then we got Han versus Seungmin, and Han won. So it became Han versus Ian, in which Han fell out of his shoes, fell flat, and then got completely just ripped apart by Ian. So it was good. I feel like there were a couple that got fast forwarded, like really fast, and I was like trying to write down the results and stuff, and I was just like, oh no, it's going too fast. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
It came down to Lino versus Ian, and in a shocking twist, Ian won.
Yep.
And was able to get himself and Seungmin the hint. So that was pretty cool.
What was the hint? I forget. I don't even know if it was a good hint.
It was not a good hint because they got to watch the video of people finding out.
Oh,
but
yeah.
only up until like before they flipped the card around. Yeah, so I don't think it was helpful.
They said they would know. Well, I think the hint was right that they would know based on the person's reaction if they were watching this particular person, but neither of them picked that person. That person, I think, being Han.
One of them did pick Han.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, he was just super loud. He was just really loud.
Mm.
And so they couldn't tell one way or another. I think Ian picked Han. And so, you know, he left it going, I don't know. I can't get anything from that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Felix would have given it away immediately, but Han was like on his game right away. So, yeah, I don't know. He did that. So the next thing they had to do was start to pick roommates. And the rule was, once they picked roommates, they would have to trade pajamas, which is hilarious. And then people started making a lot of excuses, like, "Oh, but I just got some new pajamas, but I washed them." All of those things. JYP. There were a few rooms that were based off of different K-pop artists. There was IU. There was JYP. There was BTS, and then there was, I wrote this one down because I didn't recognize it. I feel bad for whoever is a fan of them. Akmu, AKMU.
Is it Akmu or
I don't know. I have no idea.
One of them.
I have no idea. IU, I know. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. But anyway, they knew them. Good for them.
Yeah.
And so they had to pick a room, and then basically they would go in a room, and then whoever picked that room second, they were roommates for the night, and they would have to trade pajamas. They also had snacks in each room. Changbin picked the JYP room.
Naturally.
Because of course he did. Bangchan also picked the JYP room because he's JYP's son,
Naturally.
and we all knew that he would do that. And they got a honey snack because there's a song JYP made. It's called Honey.
And I think, did they play a little clip of it that was very unsettling?
They did. Yes. Yeah. It was very unsettling.
Yeah.
As most things are. You know what's interesting is that you know that Stray Kids is having a comeback right now, like as we're recording this.
Yes, unfortunately, I am aware of this fact, despite not being able to enjoy it like the rest of you.
Well, a few days ago,
I could
JYP just like dropped a new music video, and I haven't watched it because
I think I saw that
oh really?
in chat. Well,
Yeah, I haven't.
I thought
I haven't
people were
watched
talking
it.
about it in chat. I'm not. Maybe.
Oh,
Or
maybe.
maybe I saw it come up on something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but it just like I'm not gonna watch a JYP music video the week of Stray Kids comeback. Okay, I need to
Yeah.
focus, and I've been focusing. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
been
Shouldn't
my job.
JYP be like not doing that to emphasize the Stray Kids comeback?
Well,
you
you know, people are checking the JYP YouTube channel every day to see the new content that Stray Kids is putting out. So, might as well drop my own music video since people are looking at it. They might click it. You know,
Yeah.
why not?
I guess he's making money either way. It doesn't really matter to him.
Yeah, he's getting that cash money.
Yeah.
JYP.
JYP.
Yeah, you know, it's fine, whatever. Anyway, so they picked the JYP room. Let's see who else.
I like
What were
how I forget who it was, but they were like, "What if no one picks the JYP room? Or what if it's picked last?"
Yeah, what if it's picked last? Yeah, well, yeah, they're gonna get in trouble. Like JYP's gonna call him into his office. He's like, "Why did you pick my room last?
Yeah.
Like, why did you do that?" Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Hyunjin and Han both picked the IU room, which had marshmallow snacks that were super stretchy. Those looked delicious. Like nothing made me more hungry for whatever reason than that.
Really?
Even when they were like making the straight up dinner, I was like, I want marshmallows. And I don't want marshmallows, but seeing them all gooey and stuff, I was just like, I want those.
Yeah.
Because you know what I want?
The buns, yeah.
I want McDonald's.
Oh, I had McDonald's for dinner.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Well,
we talked about that.
Right,
remember?
I guess we did. Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. 20 because you had a 20 piece, but you couldn't finish it.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah.
you know, you're a baby,
Yeah.
apparently.
Although I did eat the first 10 like really fast. Okay, so we were sitting downstairs and watching something right after it got there, and like I closed the box and I went to throw it away, and Anna goes, "Did you finish a whole box already?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I'm on my second one." Like your second
Your
nugget.
second nugget? Well,
Yeah.
look, you got to go fast because if you don't go fast, they're going to get cold.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. And then I had my hot and spicy McChicken.
nice.
And then I started drinking my beverage. And then I remembered that we had fries, which I was really looking forward to. But the fries were disappointing. They were like
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, you want the fries. Like that's why you go to McDonald's, right? Because you want the
Right.
fries.
I
to,
literally
like-
when we were talking about what we wanted, I was like, I like had a dream recently
Mhm.
where I got, and then I woke up like craving the McDonald's fries.
Oh
and
yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get McDonald's fries. And then my fries
yeah.
were disappointing. So
Well, I recently we had McDonald's and they forgot my burger, and
Yeah.
so I was telling Jeanette, like, we took a little break because we watched all 3 episodes, and I was telling her, like, I'm just fixated on, like, I need to have a quarter pounder with cheese or else I'm not going to be able to eat anything else. Like, I need to have it. I probably should have done it for lunch, but I had Jersey Mike's instead.
ooh,
But
good
I
choice.
just, oh yeah, it's good. It was
I
real
fucking
good.
love Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
But I haven't
But,
had it in a while because every time I go to order it, Anna's like, I don't really like Jersey Mike's, so that I get something
Anna,
else.
don't add bacon to your Chipotle cheesesteak. It does not set it off.
It does not set it off.
No.
Oh man, speaking of setting it off,
Yeah.
I was like, there's this they call it it's called the burger bus. I don't know why though, because their burgers aren't that good. But in the
Okay.
morning they have breakfast burritos. They have all kinds of breakfast options.
Yeah.
And oh my god, their breakfast burritos are so fucking good. And because I've been going in like fairly early, most days lately, I call them like when I get into my car and I'm like pulling out of my garage, I call them and I'm like, hey, let me get a sausage and bacon breakfast burrito all the way. And then when I get there, I just walk up and I'm like, hey, I'm Tom, called in, and then I pay. And so I get up to the window this most recent time and I'm like, hey, I called in, my name's Tom. And they were like, oh, sausage, bacon, and anchovy. And I was like, anchovies? And he was like, yeah, it really sets off the morning. And I was like, I'd rather not. And he's like, I'm just kidding. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, I was like, no, it does not set off the morning.
I didn't want the anchovy. And I was like kind of running late also. So if he had put anchovies in it, I would have been like, no, make me a new one, and then actually been late. So it would not have been good.
Oh well, I'm glad it didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, well, good. Yeah, what that goddamn quarter pounder. Well, I don't know. We've already talked a lot about food, but I was going to tell you this story about
do it.
Jeanette and
coins be damned.
Yeah, before we had kids, we would get McDonald's from time to time. Like, and it was always like really late at night. We'd be like, "Hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do McDonald's." And we'd get like 2 quarter pounder with cheese meals, and then we would get a 10-piece chicken nuggets that we would split. And I would have mine with sweet and sour sauce. She would have hers with barbecue sauce. And so we would each get 5 little nuggies as just a little treat. It's just a little treat. One day, I don't even remember what we were watching. We were watching something, and I was just like sucked into the show, and I just
ate all of them.
I just passively ate all the nuggets, and then I looked down and I was like, "Oh no!" It's the fattest shit I've ever done. Oh no! I didn't realize I ate all the nuggets.
Hey, well, you know what? You snooze, you lose. So
I don't know. From now on, like from that point forward, I always like
just got a 20-piece instead.
No. But like as soon as we get home, like if we've done it, we haven't done it in a long time, but like if we do, I separate them like from the very beginning, so I make sure I know how many nuggets I have and she has.
That kind of reminds me. One time
so
we got wings, and Anna was like taking a shower when it got delivered, and so I was like, you know what, I'm fucking hungry, and so I sat down and I started eating them, and oh my God, we should have ordered more because I finished my half of them. In fact, I snuck an extra one in, for good measure, because she wasn't gonna fucking eat it, whatever. She's like a snacker. She's not really a meal kind of person. She just snacks, and
she's a true gamer.
She finally gets down there, and I'm like, "Do you want all of these?" Because like I still want some. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. Well, anyway,
she
in my
nibbles.
notes,
She doesn't take bites. She takes nibbles.
Ugh. Eat your food.
Yeah. Although to be fair, I like
Tina.
I'm not really one to talk in comparison to you, Phil, because like I mean I savor my food to a degree, but you like
I
you
eat
inhale.
It's a mission.
Yeah. I remember the first time I ever saw you eat a snack pack, I was like, "What are you doing?" Because you were just like,
"That's not
gone."
fair.
I was like,
fair,
"What
okay?
the fuck?" It's a treat.
Pack.
Enjoy it.
No, but like with the snack pack, that was different.
No.
It was different. I ate it in a special way. I don't remember how that started either, by the way, so I can't even tell you why. But yeah,
I remember. It was like it was the exact same experience Anna and I had this evening with our McNuggets, except it was me and you with snack packs, and I'm sitting there 2 bites into my snack pack, and you're done with yours, and I'm like, what? Why? Enjoy it.
Look. You still get the flavor, even if you eat it quickly. I'm just saying.
Sure.
I don't know. It's
Anyway,
good.
so this is
Anyway.
a Stray Kids podcast.
Yeah, I know. I was checking my notes here, and I
Yeah.
wrote Bong Chun picks JYP because of course,
Yeah.
and I think that's fitting.
Sure.
And then Felix and Sungmin roomed together in the AKMU room. And then I got your prediction written down here, which
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I did not remember who they were, who were the money catchers,
Oh,
and
yeah.
who were not. And so I wrote it down. It says Tom thinks it is Han, and I was like, "Did you?" And like that just happened, and I'm like, "I don't remember you saying it was Han, but I wrote it down that you said it was Han, so it must be true." And you were right. I can't believe it.
On one of them, yeah. Han was for sure, like,
Yeah,
immediately.
he was sus.
I was sus AF of Han. But the other one I wasn't too sure about, and then Lino had me going there for a while. I mean, I thought
Yeah.
it was him.
Well,
For
because
sure.
Lino is so suspicious, I felt like because of that, it seemed like
Yeah.
it's possible that he
Yeah.
would be the
He did
one.
very suspicious things that weren't
Right.
jester suspicious. They were like actually suspicious, which is
Right.
strange.
Mm-hmm. So, we should point out that that Felix still had the Changbin pillow, and it was still
Yeah.
on their bed in the morning the next morning. So like,
Yeah.
it's not even like he brought it as a joke just to like make fun of Changbin. No, he's actively using the pillow.
Right.
Like, awesome, hilarious. The next morning, sirens go off,
yeah.
just waking everyone up at 8 a.m.
Oh,
And
8 a.m. That's a
yeah.
late morning. That's a nice
dude,
a nice
it really
morning.
is. It really is. I even like a year ago, I would have been like 8 a.m. Ugh.
I'd kill to wake up at 8 a.m. That's
Yeah, man.
that's so nice.
We get up at 6 every day. 6 a.m.
Yeah, most
Even
days
on the
I get up
weekend.
earlier than that.
Well, I'm sure you do because you got to be at work earlier. But like
Yeah.
we'd have to like get up at 6, get the kids ready, get Logan to school, and then we have to. I start working. It's just a whole thing. It's a whole. I mean, luckily with my job, I can just start working whenever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I just log on, start doing the thing. Which is nice, but yeah, it's just like getting Logan to school on time, just getting everyone going that early. Like, we're not morning people. We've never been morning people
Mm-hmm.
ever. I mean, yeah, I don't know. So it's just like imagining a siren going off and waking us up. Let's say it at 6 a.m. It was 8 there,
Yeah.
but maybe 8 a.m. in Korea is actually 6 a.m. here because the international date line. That's how that works. So.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
people in chat were saying like that's an awful way to wake up, but for real, like even 8 a.m. even with a siren, that's a pretty nice morning compared to some mornings that I've had, and I'm sure that you've
Yeah.
had with children. Like.
I mean, our kids are usually pretty sweet. They're never really that bad, especially in the morning. They just come in and they just I want to watch. Michelle's been really into Peppa Pig.
Mm-hmm.
And just tonight, actually, we found that The Odd Ones Out has a show on Netflix apparently, and it's like rated like Y7, and we were like, oh, so I put it on when we were having dinner. And yeah, it's all right. Some of the jokes feel like it's like Ren and Stimpy, where like I'm like, where's the line? Like, because like the
Right.
first episode had like they created a sentient toaster because they wanted to make a smart toaster, and they made it literal, like a smart toaster. And then
Oh.
they tried to raise it like a baby so that it could make the perfect toast because their toaster always burnt the toast. And then it became evil because it saw them fighting the whole time over how to raise it. And so then at the very end, he like spoilers, he like hugs it and then reaches inside with tweezers and pulls out its chip so it dies.
Oh
and
my god!
It literally has X's over its eyes. I'm watching this with my kids, age 3 and 5. It has X's over its eyes. It's raining, and he looks super sad. And then the last piece of toast pops out. He takes it out, takes a bite, and then goes, "It's perfect."
Oh my god!
And I was like, "Whoa!" The kids were like, they were sucked in. They were just like, "All right, next episode, please." So I was like, "Okay, all right, here we are."
Jesus.
But it was pretty interesting.
That is, that's got to be interesting, right? As a parent, like figuring out what shows your kid should watch.
Yeah, it is. And for a long time, I said that Peppa Pig was banned in this house. I don't know if I mentioned that a while ago, but yeah, we didn't watch Peppa Pig at all mostly because one of our friends who had kids before us, her daughter got into Peppa Pig and started picking up an English accent, which adorable. It helps that her father was from the UK. These people.
Oh yes, yeah, right.
And so he already had an accent, and so like that mixed with Peppa Pig gave her a little bit of an accent. But also, like I guess in some episodes, Peppa Pig tended to be a bit of a brat, and so our friend who was the mother of this child said like, we're cutting back on the Peppa Pig because she's just a little too bratty, and it's like rubbing off too much.
Yeah. And
so we remembered that when we had kids, we were like, Peppa Pig is banned. But like, we've been watching a few episodes. I think that Michelle's old enough now to where like she just likes it. She just likes to see them do things and thinks that their art is silly and fun, and we have some stuffies that she loves, and so watching the show just matches up. And we're weak. I'm so weak. If the kids are like, I really like this thing, like Logan got into this show called Glitch Techs, which is like a Nickelodeon show for kids. It's super cool. I actually really like it. It's on Netflix, and it's like about like video games and like people who like the video games, when they have a glitch, it actually comes out and comes to life, and there's this like team of people who are like pro gamers that have to bust them, and it's great, and he loves it. But it was supposed to get a third season, and it was but it kind of got canceled because it was supposed to be like a joint venture between Netflix and Nickelodeon that started in 2019. And I don't know if you're aware, but at the end of 2019 there was this thing that happened, and
was it like a pandemic style event?
Yeah, it was a pandemic style event, and so like it took a while to come out, I guess, but I love it. The art is cool. I love the color palette. The characters are really cool, and Logan really likes it. But because anytime he likes a new thing, I just immediately go, all right, I have to find some merch for this thing so that they can have like a thing that they can look at that's from that thing.
Yeah.
I can't help myself that I'm just like, because that's how I am, right? Like, I have my like shelves of anime figures because I want to like walk by them and be like, I remember all these shows, like I just want to like look at these things and be like, right, yeah, this is a thing, like be reminded. I do that now with Stray Kids albums, where we have them all on our like mantle, which we need a new place for them because we have too many, and we're getting more. But I love to like walk in and then see all the albums there and just be like, I remember all the songs, and I get to see all the things, and like, it's like nice to be reminded of the things you like. You want to be surrounded with that stuff. And so I try to provide that for the kids. And so anytime that they show any interest in any show or video game or whatever, I'm just like, yeah, well, check this out. You want this? Let me get you some stickers. Like, whatever. Like I bought them we bought a bunch of stickers from Redbubble, and like half the stickers, like we got some Stray Kids stickers and we bought them some stickers, and like half of them are like, I got him a Glitch Tech sticker, I got them some DDR arrows, like because they love playing DDR at night, and I don't know, we just anyway, I'm a pushover with that kind of stuff.
No, I mean, no, it makes sense. That's That's good. I think that's good parenting, right? I mean, like,
Yeah,
I feel like my dad did the same thing for us, for my brother and I growing up. Like, he would always try to indulge our interests, especially when it came to like Hot Wheels or Pokemon or like whatever. Like, we were constantly he would go. In fact, he got like so into it that we'd like come home and he'd be like, check out these Japanese holographic Pokemon cards that I got off eBay.
Snap.
You know, and we'd be like, oh, like it was just, I don't know, it was great. He went like real hard into whatever we were into, which was always very nice, you know.
That is nice. I do wonder, right? Because when I was a kid, and I started getting into anime and stuff, you know, like my parents didn't understand it. They had no conception of like what that was or like how to deal with it. Like they would buy me stuff that was like Chinese and just be like, "Happy birthday," and I'd be like, "Cool, thanks, I guess." Like they were trying to figure out. They were doing their best. So like I don't like no harm done with that kind of thing, but like they just didn't understand, and I definitely get the sense because I see some people on TikTok and stuff that like if you're that age now and you're like into Stray Kids and you're like, "Oh, I love Stray Kids. I love this and that and whatever." And like you don't have a job, you have to kind of depend on your parents to like be able to understand this fascination.
Right.
And they really should, because like boy bands have been a thing forever. So like if you're the parent of like a teenager or even somebody who's like a preteen or somebody whatever age, and your child is into K-pop, regardless of the group, although, you know, obviously we watch the best one, then like I feel like it's a little bit, you need to be able to understand the fascination. This goes for husbands too, for all us 30-year-olds. Okay, come on, husbands. Husbands, enjoy what your partner likes. Okay,
husband of
please?
the Strayaboos that are in our chat that have introduced you to our show. You must understand. Also, there's somebody. Man, I feel terrible because I forget his name, but he doesn't chat, but he's in here, and I'm pretty sure he said that the reason he came in here was because his kids are into Stray Kids. And
that's awesome.
He's trying to understand it more. He's the one that's the oldest one of all the Strayaboos.
Oh wow, that's really cool. I love that.
Yeah, Paul. That's right.
Paul.
Yeah, Paul. Paul, you got to chat more.
Oh no, he's fine. I mean, like, I think that's awesome.
He's probably busy.
I think that's great. I think that's really awesome. And that's like exactly what you want to have, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just it's great. Anyway, back to the Stray Kids buddy catcher. So the sirens were going off. That's where we were. And people start waking up and trying to figure out what's going on. Lino immediately runs and finds that there's a new task where you have to find out everybody's TMI. So you have to go around and ask them what's their TMI. And
find out their TMI. You couldn't ask them. I mean, you could, I guess.
But you want to know their TMI. You want to know what's your TMI?
Man, the one that Hyunjin got was he executed it so well. It was like I didn't even see it happening when it happened. We had to rewind so that I could see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rewind for the youngins is what we used to call. It's called rewind because you used to have to literally rewind the tape so that you could watch it.
It was a tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I guess we could just call it go back. We had to go back.
We had to go backtrack. Yeah, backtrack about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lino's was to get the facial creams that Felix uses and the order he puts them on in. And when he went out, like, he found Felix, he just went straight to his room, stole them all.
Yeah.
Like, no waiting. He immediately did it. And then he eventually found Felix outside and was just like, "Hey, if you like help me out, I'll help you out." And Felix goes like, "Okay." And then he just says, "Okay, like what order do you use them in?" And then he says I
White.
do was it white, pink, blue?
Yeah, white pink.
And
blue.
then Lino goes, got it. And he's like, yeah, I'll try to help you out with yours too. And he just fucking books it and just goes and turns in his challenge and becomes the first person to be done. Like, incredible Lino move.
Was he the first? I thought
Yeah,
Sungmin
he was
the
first. Oh no, you're right. He was second.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sungmin just his task was to go and find Ian's wallet and find out how much money he had in there. And so he just went up, stole the wallet, stole the whole wallet, took it down, and showed the money. So he nailed it, I guess. So good. Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I did like Felix's. Felix's was that he needed to get Changbin's mom's phone number on Changbin's screen, I think.
Was it? I thought it was just that he had to take
number.
his phone.
The contact name.
Oh,
right. He needed the contact name. Yeah. He calls his sister first off in the bathroom and is like, is mom awake? I need you. And then he finally gets a hold of his mom and says he wants his mom to call Changbin's mom and tell her to call Changbin right now.
Yeah.
And so Changbin gets a phone call and starts talking to his mom, and Felix jumps in, steals the phone out of his hand, and runs, just fucking books it all the way to turn in the quiz and or turn in the TMI. Yeah, it was good. I loved it. IN couldn't find Sungmin's diary. Didn't work. Yeah, it was great. I freaking loved it. It was so good. At this point, the pen I was using to take notes stopped working. So yeah, I ran out of ink. But yeah, that whole segment was hilarious. So only 4 people got to eat breakfast. I mean, everybody got breakfast. It's so funny because they're like, all right, only 4 people get breakfast, and they served 4 people breakfast. Everyone else had to watch. And then like immediately when they were done with this whole segment, they like went back in the kitchen and Lino was making like breakfast, like making waffles and stuff. So it's not like they were starving. They just had to sit and watch people eat. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was pretty funny. And we had Lino and Sungmin got to find out. They got to ask one yes or no question that couldn't be directly about the identity of a money catcher. And of course, we didn't know it, but both of them were buddy catchers. So it was like pretty fascinating to see what they asked. Sungmin asked if the money catcher was in the 2000s line, which he's included in. And I think that was, it was so smart because the answer he got was yes. And he's like, okay, well, if it's not him and it's one of the other people, he knows to avoid the other people in the 2000s line. And if there was anyone he was suspicious of or not suspicious of, then he can kind of sort them out a little bit easier. So yeah. I think he really nailed it. That was an excellent question. Lino's question. What was Lino's question? I couldn't write it down.
I don't remember.
Oh, no. Well, somebody will remember.
Sorry. Yeah, somebody in chat. Tell us now.
What is it going to be? Who's going to get there first?
Rogue, maybe? No, she can't type.
Nobody can remember. Right. He wanted to know if one of the people who picked him was Hyunjin, and Hyunjin did not pick him. So he asked specifically about Hyunjin because he had an idea of like, if Hyunjin picks me, then it means this. And I think that is a weak ass question. Yeah. I'm sure that he thought like, okay, I think I'm going to nail down that Hyunjin is or is not the buddy catcher or the money catcher just by knowing this one piece of information. But you got to remember, there's 7 other people you need to contend with.
Right.
Like, you need to ask a question that's more general than that. And then okay, this got me, and I know this was editing, but they tell them after they get their question, like, you can't share this with other people. And then they start the final deliberation, and Seungmin immediately shares what he found out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, clearly during final deliberation, it was okay. But, like, they could have just cut 2 seconds out of the episode and not shown that he wasn't supposed to say it, and then have someone ask and him tell them that he can't say it.
Yeah.
And then immediately in the next scene be like, okay, I can say it now. Like, it's like, I don't know. It just seemed a little weird. But whatever. So he told people, and he wound up matching with IN. Felix and Changbin wound up matching. And Changbin was mad. Changbin was big mad. He was like, I swear, if you are the money catcher, I'm going to be so mad at you in real life, not just on the show. And then Han and Hyunjin got matched up. And we got the final results of Seungmin and IN were both buddies. They won the friendship prize, which was ring pops. They got to exchange ring pops.
Ring pops.
Yeah, why not? It's like a friendship ring, Yeah.
Oh, man, ring pops are, they're an okay idea, but
they're
once you start,
terrible in practice.
Yeah, because they get they get too messy, and then I just bite it off,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
that's generally how I would handle that situation. I haven't had one because I'm an adult.
And
but when I was a child,
Yes.
a kid, I used to go to the skate rink.
Mhm.
And I would go and get it was one of the candies that was available. So on occasion I would get one from there, but that's it. And so I'd be skating around with a ring pop so I could have my candy and skate too, which seems dangerous now thinking back on it. Like, should you really have candy like while skating around in circles and like I don't know. Seems like a bad idea to put like objects in your mouth when you could fall down. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Felix, final results. The actual money catchers were Felix and Han, so they both won, betraying Changbin and Hyunjin, and they won $1,000. Woo! $1,000. It was worked out well for them. Then we got to see the punishment game, which was interesting. Not much of a punishment, really. At least not for Hyunjin.
For Hyunjin, it wasn't. For Changbin.
They were supposed to bungee jump. Hyunjin went up first, jumped off like a beautiful swan, and like while he was falling, the look on Changbin's face of him just being like just abject horror, like it was so good. It was so funny. And then Changbin goes up. Also, he was barefoot while he was up there. I don't know if you paid attention to that, but just completely barefoot. It was really funny. I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah.
And he like took like half a step out of the door and was like, I can't do this. And he gave up. So that was the end of that. That was the end of Buddy Catcher. It was awesome. What did you think of this overall? Well, what was your opinion of this?
It was very fun.
Like it?
It was fun. It was entertaining and everything. It's just another one of those things where I'm like, I don't really get like, I mean, I like seeing, the our boys.
Yeah.
My son.
Please. My son.
Mm-hmm. In these different things, but we gotta move on to the music, to the reason we're here.
Well, we're gonna get there's gonna be a lot of music coming up because like our next episode we are opening an album. The episode after that we're listening to music. And I think the episode after that we're listening to more music. So we're gonna get like music, and then Skiz Code comes back, and we get some new episodes of Skiz Code. So I'm excited. It's gonna be really good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of the perfect time for those Skiz Codes too. If you get my drift, Chet, you know what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no spoilers.
They're Halloween episodes. Spoilers. They're Halloween
Oh.
episodes. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna not tell you and then immediately tell you. You like that?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Right. So on our next episode, we get to open Noisy. Now, I will warn you now.
Noisy.
We're going to watch all the music videos, listen to all the songs. But
Easy. Yes.
on the final day of Kingdom Week, 7th day, there's one more episode that we're not going to watch, and we're just going to skip it because it's like their favorite. It was that like a Kingdom recap. It's like their favorite like performances or fan favorite performances. But because we've started from the beginning and now we're here, we've watched most of them. We've watched the Mama performances. We watched the Kingdom performances. Like, if we're missing one, we should just watch it and then be done with it. We don't need another like 30-minute long show. Okay. But on the final day, they did the comeback show where they performed live a couple of the songs from the album. They did like a stay featuring segment where we get to see some hilarity ensue, and then they perform the title track, and it's like fun, it's good, and we're gonna do that in lieu of the intro video. Like, there is still an intro video for this, but like this episode is like an hour long, so we'll do the music, we'll do the Kingdom Week final episode, and we will open our albums next episode. And if you want to follow along, hey, makeastatepod.com.
No, just makeastate.com.
Oh, you're right. There's no pod. Damn it. I ruined it. What he said, what this guy said.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. If you want to check out, if you want to get involved with the rest of the podcast, go to makeastate.com. You can join the Discord, and you can be one of our chatters while we're recording. And I think if people are up for it tonight, we're actually gonna slide right into some games. I think since we didn't really discuss it beforehand, we can. We'll just do some scribblies. If we want to do some scribblies tonight, and then we'll talk about it throughout the day tomorrow to find out if we want to do something else tomorrow night, like maybe some Jackbox games or what have you.
Yeah, something like that could be
fun.
And
so yeah, join the Discord. You can be part of the community here. Join all of our lovely Strayaboos. And
we have a good time.
Yep. We've got a rogue. She's threatening children in the chat right now.
No, you shouldn't do that. Don't threaten children. Yeah, it's good. It's a fun time. I'm glad. Like, you've been gone for a little bit. I feel like you've been you were out and you've been working and stuff. So, without you being here, I've been super bored. But now I'm having a good time. We're having fun.
Well,
so come have fun with us.
I'm gonna be gone again soon.
Yeah. You're telling me I'm gonna be super bored again?
Yes.
Ugh, gross.
Yep. But I've decided this weekend I'm gonna play Terraria. So
Terraria. Oh, I guess. You could play Final Fantasy 14 again. You're not.
I could. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to though. I set up a server, so if we've got some stray boos, and if you want to get involved in the Terraria server, you can join the Terraria server. Because I'm gonna be playing Terraria.
All right. Well, sounds fun.
And beyond Discord, you can go to the Patreon, and if you would like to support the podcast, you can join us on Patreon and help us work towards our Patreon goals that Jeanette has set without anyone's consent. And you can also check out our store that Jeanette does all the artwork for. And we've got some pretty cool things like our mugs. The mugs are actually awesome. I think they're great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be good. So come chill with us and get a taste of this great show that you're listening to. All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and have yourself a lovely whatever the rest of your day is gonna be, or evening, or whatever it might be.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.